come away with feeling good. We weren't even saying winning the football game like we were last year. We just said feel good about the performance after this one today. I think based on the columns of things that sucked and did not, I don't think most Wisconsin football fans can walk away from today's performance feeling better about where the program is. And I wanted to feel that way. And there were some things that did look good. Like the run defense today was good.
Yeah.
There were positives.
We made them one-dimensional. Unfortunately, the one dimension they used was very, very good.
Last year, the expectation going into the game was maybe we can compete, maybe we can shock the world and win this football game. This year, outside of Hunter Vaughn and Riley Yaka, our two producers who on our ESPN Madison digital team, they put up a score prediction graphic each week. They were the only two who picked Wisconsin to win at Alabama. Outside of those two, nobody expected to win this football game, but you wanted to feel competitive. You wanted to feel like we were right there, and you wanted to feel like we were returning to the Wisconsin roots and running the ball, controlling time of possession, eliminating our own mistakes. Yeah. 2 costly interceptions, a bunch of penalties at the worst possible times. You can't feel good about what this performance was today.
No, you've heard the phrase. It's a massively overused cliche, but it reigns true, especially for today. Styles make fights, right? I think 2 things can be true. Today was a very bad performance. Wisconsin, specifically in the defensive back room, did not match up very well with Alabama's wide receivers. It took about a drive and a half to figure that out, and once they figured it out, they exposed it. But I think this team, there's also an argument they could be in a better spot than they were last year. They just put up a very, very poor performance. I think there's a difference between they played a very bad game and we still have a more talented football team than last year. I think the defense showed promise. Again, we've got them for 22 rushes for 72 yards. Wisconsin entered today allowing 1.3 yards per carry. I said going into it, if they can hold them to between 3 and 4 yards a carry and just contain and force Alabama to throw the ball, force Ty Simpson to make a play, he made a lot of plays, you're in a good spot. With that being said, as soon as Alabama figured out they could only throw the ball, it didn't matter if Wisconsin's defense realized it was going to be a ton of passes today. They did whatever they wanted to. Yeah. What was your score prediction? You were
34
relatively close.
Yeah, 34-10 is what I expected, but the game did not play out the way that I thought it would. I basically thought this was going to be the Oregon-Northwestern game.
Right.
Because that was on simultaneously to this one today. And that one, it played out the way I thought the Wisconsin-Alabama game would, which is keeping it close, fundamentally control time of possession, run the ball fairly effectively early on, short passes, kind of run some clock, and then as time goes on, eventually the better team pulls away. Well, this ended up turning pretty quick.
Yeah, turnovers were bad. I think if we went down your list of things that sucked, you could kind of group them, right? Grab a couple of those points and those moments under the discipline category. The roughing the passer from Mason Reiger on what would have been a 4th down. Wisconsin was down 7-0 after the bad turnover from Danny O'Neal as soon as they got the ball off turnover on downs. That was rough. Anytime this team was facing a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4 scenario, and it turned to 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 due to a pre-snap penalty, that sucked. I think you can group a few of the things that Wisconsin did wrong today and not chalk them up to talent, but just straight-up discipline. I wasn't expecting penalty-free football like we got last week, but this was abysmal, especially in the first half. You can point the finger at the fact there was laundry on the field, and it was Wisconsin's fault early on.
And look, we know Alabama has more talent in general than the Wisconsin program does, and that's not new. That was the same under Barry Alvarez and Brett Bielema and Paul Chryst and Gary Anderson, any other coach you want to mention. Alabama generally has more talented players than Wisconsin has, and that was on display today. I'm not upset that Ryan Williams made a hell of a play and was able to juke 2 defenders and run for a big touchdown.
That's going to happen.
He could do that against LSU. He could do that against Florida. He could do that against Georgia. That's just a great play that one of the best receivers in the country is going to make. The ones that I'm upset about are the ones you just mentioned, Corey. The roughing the passer when you had a 4th down situation at shy of midfield where Alabama's likely going to punt that football and you're going to get back down 1 score. Instead, 15 yards and a 1st down, very next play, boom, touchdown. Yeah. And you're down 14-0 just like that. I'm upset about the holding call that wasn't called in the end zone.
That was rough.
And Alabama scores because of that. And again, that's not that's not something Wisconsin could control. I guess I should focus more on those things. Danny O'Neal's interceptions.
Yep.
Obviously, the one later didn't matter as much, but that one, you get a huge defensive stop, and you're ready to take the crowd out of the game in Tuscaloosa early, and you give it right back to them by throwing a lazy, easy interception. Those are the things that you cannot do when you're trying to compete against the best of the best. And if we know that Alabama's more talented, Wisconsin had to be more disciplined.
Yes.
Today they were not.
Great point, Jesse. And I think, look, you can't be mad at the Isaiah Horton. I had to remember who caught it there. 13-yard touchdown reception to end the first half. Ricardo Hallman played good coverage. Ty Simpson threw a missile right over his helmet. Horton snared it, and that was that. But you can be upset with the penalties. You can be upset with the fact that there were one real fourth down scenario and one pseudo fourth down scenario with the roughing the passer where Wisconsin didn't come through, or they ended up making those. Those mistakes are magnified against Alabama. You can get away with those against Miami of Ohio and Middle Tennessee, but when you do get those breaks or earn those breaks of fourth down and you get a roughing the passer or you get a holding, it's not, maybe we'll make another stop. No, the difference between Alabama and a Miami of Ohio is you're going to not only pay for it, you're going to pay for it on the next play. And they did. They did. I mean, I wanted to see if Ty Simpson could make some throws today, and he put on an amazing show. I don't want to just turn this into, if Wisconsin played better, they could have beat him. I think a lot of things would have had to go Wisconsin's way for that to happen, but shooting yourself in the foot doesn't help.
And that's what ultimately cost them today. I'm curious what our fans think today.
I am as well.
Because, last year we took a lot of phone calls on the day of the Alabama loss, and people were very dejected. They were leaving the stadium early. They had high hopes going in that maybe Wisconsin could, get that signature win for Luke Fickell. I don't think fans felt that way going into this game today, except for Riley, who was at the game in Tuscaloosa with his buddies.
Which we'll check in with him later.
But for everyone else, we're asking just a bunch of the fans that were sitting around here at Monks in Middleton, and it's a very different vibe. It was an expected outcome, and what I worry about is that there's starting to become this apathy to a big loss like this and not living up to it on a big stage. And that is where, as a program, you start to get concerned about where things are heading.
Yeah, 100% agree. We're taking your calls on the other end of the break, 844-770-3776. Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text Line. Liz is more. How do you feel about the Badgers through the first quarter of the season this year compared to last year? You can go the expectations route. You can just go the emotions you are feeling about 15 minutes removed from the clock hitting triple zeros in the fourth quarter. Go whichever direction you would like. We are here to field your comments and start that conversation with you. Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Well, stop it. Now is the time to get housed. For over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. 38-14, the final score, but we are far from done here on the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show. Taking your calls next here across ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. We're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
ESPN Madison is your home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Underneath it, bump set, left side, powers it down. What a rally, and Wisconsin comes out on top.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title, hear every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
They're blocked by Bucky.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is presented by Steinhoffels and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Also brought to you by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Get ready to unleash the dragon at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Introducing the region's very first $1 million Dragon League slot games. With jackpots soaring to $1 million, your chance to hit it big is here. Come experience the ultimate gaming adventure. Visit Hard Rock Casino Rockford today and play the $1 million Dragon League slot games. Your legendary win awaits. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's hard rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns, it's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
To 14, the final score. 19th ranked Alabama taking down Wisconsin in Tuscaloosa. This is the Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show across ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels. Corey Sparks, Jesse Nelson here with you live from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton, Wisconsin. The question we kind of led off with here was, how do you feel after this game compared to, I guess we get the, if I want to call it luxury, but we are able to use a direct comp from last year. After 3 games, this team was 2-1, and they fell to Alabama. After 3 games this year, the Badgers are 2-1, and they just fell to Alabama. In Alabama, you can draw a lot of different similarities. And we opened up the ESPN Wisconsin card. Let's talk and text line 844-770-3776. Less is more. And, Jesse, the replies are rolling in. It's a pretty resounding response to today's loss.
Yeah, so I'll start with our teammate Sadler, who helps us out at the pregame tailgates on Regent Street. He is an Alabama fan. He simply says roll tide. So Sadler's having a good day. So congratulations to Sadler. Everybody else is unhappy with what they saw today. Chef Ed, I'm happy they kept it under 30 points as the margin, not the amount that they gave up, the margin of victory. But I do have a feeling that they can get to 6 wins and be bowl eligible. It's about as optimistic of a response as we've seen between the text line or the YouTube comments.
So it's downhill from there. Okay.
Yes, so Chef Ed says he thinks that they can still get to 6 wins and be bowl eligible based on what he saw today. Why?
You don't think so?
I mean...
Well, okay. So I kind of framed this going into it. Like, horrible game. They did not execute when it came to penalties. The skill gap between the Badgers secondary and Alabama's wide receivers was clearly the widest, and that got exposed very often. But was what you saw today enough for you to go, you're not getting 6 wins? Like, I don't want to play the schedule game, right? But Maryland's coming up.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be one of the easier opponents. Washington's down the road. You got the Axe game. You got Iowa. That's 6 right there. Do you think you saw enough today to make them go?
What did you see today that makes you think, wow, they can go toe-to-toe with Minnesota. They can go toe-to-toe with Nebraska. They can go I guess they don't play Nebraska. They can go toe-to-toe with Iowa. They can go toe-to-toe with Illinois.
Because of what they did stop of Alabama, that being the run game, that's more of the brand of football you're going to see from Minnesota. Iowa's trying to go more pass-heavy. They spent $2 million on their quarterback, so I see that. But most of the Big Ten, this was an SEC school in Alabama. They've been throwing the ball around for a while. Most of the Big Ten needs and demands physicality. And so I still think I saw enough. I know it feels like I'm picking a needle out of a haystack here. But if Alabama's pass game was just competent and not excellent today, and they were held to a one-dimensional game plan like they were, the score does read differently. They could not run the football. Now, they passed the ball very well, but I think if you're able to stop the run, whether it's 2025 or 1995, in the Big Ten, that does count for something. Again, they're not... I think 2 things can be true. This team has taken a step forward, yes. They're not where we want them to be, and that's why you're starting to see the apathy, even in an in-person atmosphere. Yes, but we're asking for 6 or 7 wins here.
Daniel the Landscaper chimes in on our Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. LOL.
Oh, boy.
Never good when you're texting.
Good start, Daniel.
LOL, the Badgers are a joke of a program. I said it before the year started. They better enjoy the first 2-game wins, because that's all they will get this year. Barry should be disappointed in how far this Badgers team has fallen as a program he built.
So building off of that, you host the Barry Alvarez show every week, which is an awesome way to launch people into the next week it's going to be Maryland, right? The upcoming matchup.
We actually host it right there at Ruth's Chris
There
Steakhouse
we
in
go.
Middleton. It's right across the street from where we are at Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton.
In your neck of the woods, right? And one of the things that Barry said before today's game was don't make them bigger than who they are. Yes, you're going to have some All-Americans over there, some All-Conference, which means a ton in the SEC, but don't make them bigger than who they are. Do you think some of the things that Wisconsin did today, whether it was the penalties, the home run plays they were giving up, the quick scores to start the second half, showed inklings of them making Alabama bigger than who they are? Did they fail at that objective today?
Of course they did.
Yeah.
Ryan Williams doesn't have a chance to make a big play if Wisconsin doesn't commit a penalty right before that. Jeremy Bernard doesn't get a touchdown pass for 43 yards if there isn't a flag for 15 yards for roughing the passer right before it. There were other instances abundant throughout the course of this game. I don't need to list all of them because Lord knows there was a good amount of them. I don't need to list all of them for you to know that Wisconsin had a bunch of self-inflicted errors that allowed Alabama to have more opportunities. If you can control what you can control, don't make those mistakes. Don't make those costly penalties. Don't throw a lazy, easy interception that gives Alabama the ball back right after a sudden momentum change.
Yeah.
If you can avoid those things, you're in really good shape, and you're taking away those opportunities for their stars to shine. You made them better than they are because you gave them gifts.
Yeah.
And when they take gifts, they're going to open them up.
And that's why I think those are correctables, right? Like you can't, at this point in someone's career, coaching is a huge aspect, right? But you can't make your recruitment class for 2026 or 2025 all of a sudden way more talented over the course of a season. They're going to progress. They're going to learn the nuances of the game. They're going to learn the playbook, the coverages, everything. But you can't fix that. And I think Wisconsin looks more talented. They look way more physical. That is a non-negotiable at this point than they did last year. But the correctables and the things they did wrong today were penalties. You can clean that up. We saw it cleaned against a much lesser opponent in Middle Tennessee State. But I'm hoping when they go in there, they look at the All-22. They're doing film not too long from now. Luke Fickell's looking at it with everybody on his roster. They're able to clean things up, I think, a lot better than you're just not strong enough to block that guy. I didn't feel like those moments happened too often today. There's a lot to look down on from today, but I never really felt like physicality-wise, at least on the defensive line. Danny O'Neal got rushed a few times, especially at the beginning, but the defensive line, they stood their own.
I mean, yes, they stopped the run effectively.
They did? That counts for something.
Hey, we said in the pregame show, we compared them to Micah Parsons and the Packers. Like the Badgers' offensive approach would have to be that way, going fast.
Like get the ball out.
Well, it turned out Alabama just decided they weren't having success running the football, so they just decided let's not do that.
They made the pass their run.
And they found a soft underbelly of the Wisconsin defense.
Is that a Tauscherism?
Time after time after time after time. It was a relentless punch every play. Early on in the game, you weren't giving up more than 5-10 yards in a single play. You thought, okay, like if they can control things, get an incompletion, they got a fourth down stop.
Yeah.
You felt good about that.
Let me get it back.
Alabama figured it out real quick.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin did not have that opportunity to figure it out. And the fact that they didn't complete a pass to a wide receiver until the fourth quarter of today's game would be a clear indication that that was, in fact, what was happening.
That was one of those storylines that just snuck up on me. Before we go to break here, it was until, I think it was Jalen Ballard who got the first, and it was a bomb pass for a touchdown to make the score look a little prettier than it was. You kept telling me, you're like, who caught that? Oh, halfback in the flat. All right. Still no wide receiver receptions. Who caught that? Oh, one of our tight ends. Still no wide. I was like, wait a minute. We're going into the fourth quarter, Jesse. That's not normal.
So a lot of action out of the backfield. And there were a couple of nice plays.
Yep.
Dylan Jones had a nice catch. Dupree had a nice catch and run. Tight ends had a couple of nice catches on third down conversions. There were some good things there, but you can't go 3 quarters. I don't care who you're, Middle Tennessee, Alabama, or anyone in between. You can't go 3 quarters and not complete a single pass to a wide receiver. Like, that's a clear defensive game plan you have not been able to overcome offensively.
100% agree. 844-770-3776, the cardless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. Lists is more. What did you see today? How are you feeling about the result, which ended up being a 38-14 loss?
I'm starting to read the YouTube comments.
Okay.
You know how I feel about the YouTube comments.
What is it, the dwellers?
Oh, boy.
We will dive into those next, but first we want to remind you that Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition of working in the best interests of their clients every single day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believes that values matter and strengthen their communities. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, the 3 C's. It's not just a tagline, it is a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Diving into your YouTube comments and more from the Carbless Talk and Text line on ESPN Wisconsin, 844-770-3776, responding to Wisconsin's 38-14 loss to Alabama today. More next. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show on ESPN Wisconsin.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Looking for the perfect pizza meal just for you? Introducing Pizza Hut's new personal pizzas, the Crafted Flats. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each, all day. The perfect pizza deal for lunch, dinner, or on game days. Order your $5 Crafted Flats at one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly opened Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
This is a magical month at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, with 13 chances to win big every week. Starting at 6 p.m. each Friday in September, 12 winners will enter an enchanted forest and select a cash prize of up to $2,500. Then at 9 p.m. every Friday, one winner will open a door to reveal a grand prize of up to $10,000 in cash. Be here for our Forest of Fortune promotion happening every Friday night in September. Don't miss your chance for prizes all month long at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, serviced, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love, with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
It's kickoff time at Metro Ford of Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 per $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFordofMadison.com and score your next truck today.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's top prospect camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
We're on the Badgers.
Team's in a good spot. Culture's in a really good spot.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
And now it's just about, hey, can you get back to that bowl game and hopefully get one or two of those marquee ones.
This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand. From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We've had some scores go final in the Big Ten. Number 22, Indiana played absolutely nobody in Indiana State and won 73-0 on Friday night. Good for them. UCLA's still winless after they fell to a former Badger, Jason Eck, and New Mexico 35-10. Way to go, Coach Eck. Then some games that went final today. Michigan took down a directional school, Central Michigan, 63-3. Oregon winning at Evanston 34-14 in the Baby Stadium. Your Badgers, of course, they fell 38-14 to Alabama. Some other finals in the Big Ten. Maryland played Townsend. Awesome. They are 3-0 and they won 44-14. And Nebraska beating Houston Christian 59-7. Way to go, Big Ten, playing some real opponents this week. Right now, Purdue and USC are in a delay due to weather, so they have yet to kick off in that game. Penn State will play Villanova coming up in a little bit. Rutgers is at home against Norfolk State, and Ohio State plays the Ohio Bobcats. Back to Monks in Middleton to Corey and Jesse.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Hunter's a little feisty today.
I mean, that was an all-time scoreboard update.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. Now we
the
did
Baby Stadium.
That's
fair.
It's
that was one of the nicer comments.
I don't think he said anything wrong. Like Indiana played Indiana State.
The Sycamores. Respect them.
Missouri Valley. Gotta love it. We played a directional school last week, though, so I feel like we can't necessarily
throw stones in the glass house.
Right. Like we did that too. Yeah. Yes. The rest of it was pretty accurate. Yeah,
that was amazing.
Good update.
No notes. With Celebrations Entertainment, planning events has never been easier, folks. They have complete event services for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and much more fun for you. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment, fun, memorable events. Today may have been memorable for various reasons. We're going to bring Scott from Fort Worth in. He called the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line 844-770-3776. Less is more. Scott, what are you going to remember from today?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call as usual. I'm not really taking anything away from this. I didn't expect them to win anyway, but what I did expect was to be competitive at least. Kind of shown that we've taken a little bit of a leap from last year's beatdown, but we didn't get that today, and I don't think Pickle's the right guy for the job. This team, this is like Taft, California. Remember that movie, The Best of Times with Robin Williams and Kurt Russell? I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that movie. It's a great movie. But we're
Scott. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know how old Corey is, but he is not going to remember that movie.
Yeah, remember that's a great movie to watch. It's funny, but we're just kind of stuck in lethargy.
Take the recommendation.
Right,
thank you, Scott.
Nothing going on, man. I want to give kudos a little bit to the offense. We're trying to mix it up with some trick plays and gadget plays. I mean, it was better than just run, pass, punt, run, pass, punt. But just overmatched. I saw more of Wisconsin Badger guys laying on their butts after getting pancaked all day long, and I was just embarrassed by it. And it's just we're out of their league, and I can't believe how far off we are from top-tier competition. And there was times when we would go to bowl games, and we would beat SEC teams, we would beat Auburn, we would beat Georgia, and it's like, hey, we can hang with these guys. And how far we've regressed in those times has just made it made me very apathetical towards the program. I wasn't rushing to watch this game on TV today. I ran some errands, I mowed my lawn. I don't rush to the TV to watch the game like I used to because I don't believe in this coaching staff and this team anymore. I just think it's just, and as I said last week, earlier you guys were talking about, someone said, well, they see 6 wins on the schedule. Last week, I said they're not going to win another game, and I still stand by that. And I want to know take a look at the schedule and tell me who they're beating. Maybe, and I said maybe Maryland they'll beat. But look at the schedule, and I can find anybody to tell me who they're beating the rest of this season. And I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. That's just me trying to be a realist. I don't see them beating anybody with the current team that we have. The games might be close. I'm not saying they're going to get blown out, but I just don't think that we have a talent level with the guys on our schedule that we're going to win these games. And that's, I hate to say it.
Scott, let me ask you a question. Scott, let me ask you a question here before you continue any further. So, this isn't that much different than things we've seen in past Badgers regimes. Like the Badgers under Brett Bielema lost to SEC teams in this manner. The score when Paul Chryst led Wisconsin to play Alabama in 2015 was 35-17. Barry Alvarez lost some games to SEC teams in bowl games and whatnot. Like, what's different about this under Luke Fickell that makes you feel like suddenly his job needs to be at stake, where other coaches, if it's had the same experience, and don't think of just the good times where they did win some of these games. Think of all the times they did lose these games and we didn't call for the coach's job. What's different about this?
Okay, here's the difference. We were competitive in those games. We're not. And here's another thing that I can also maybe add onto it. Look at the rest of the Big Ten, and like Hunter Vaughn was saying, look who they're playing today. They're blowing out weaker competition. Look like Indiana. I think Indiana absolutely boat raced somebody this weekend. Nebraska.
Yeah, Indiana State.
Yeah. They're
Houston Christian.
But they're dominating. My point is they're dominating these teams. Wisconsin is barely getting by the mediocre talent. Yeah, the final score may say 42-10 like last week or whatever it was, but the game was a lot closer. These games are a lot closer than they should be when we're talking about the University of Wisconsin and Big Ten Power Football Conference. We're eking by the mid-majors while our competition in our conference is absolutely boat racing and just destroying them. That's what I'm worried about. Fickell's not exerting dominance over the teams that he should be exerting dominance over. He's eking by. And when you play talent that's above, same tier or above them, that's going to equate to a loss. And that should be concerning to the rest of Wisconsin fans. And I think they know it. Like, why are we barely squeaking by mid-level college teams and our competitors are just mollywopping them? So that's kind of what my point is. So, I'll shut up. I'm rambling, but...
It's okay. You got some feelings. Tausch always says, feel your feelings, and that's okay, Scott. Thanks for the call.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the show, guys. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you for calling,
Scott's
Scott.
one of the loyal ones.
Yeah.
He's always with us every post game. So, do you know, like, just looking at a final score, do you know that these other teams are, what was the word he just used, mollywomping some of their opponents? Like, people can look at what Wisconsin won by against Middle Tennessee last week and say the same, they won 42-10.
I think if you box score surf, you can kind of make your own storyline. But, yeah, to your point, right? Like, if someone just looked at Wisconsin's game and saw 42-10, they don't know what happened in the first half. We don't know if there were early turnovers in some of these games or if it was closer than it should have been in certain instances. But, yeah, when you're beating Indiana State by a ton, You should be. And I think Wisconsin, if we want to revert back to the Miami of Ohio game, I'm going to give them a little grace because they lost their starting quarterback a couple series into their season. That's going to jolt anybody.
You still shut them out, which is awesome. And then last week you kind of wore out Middle Tennessee, which, again, like 42-10, I think was still a good victory. I thought they would pull away in the second half. They did. So I'm not worried about that kind of thing. There were a lot of points to try and address from Scott and Fort Worth there. So that was one that I wanted to make sure I started.
I mean, they're a Big Ten school, too. Northwestern, it was 34-14 with Oregon. They hung around. Should we talk about that?
It was 10-0 with a minute left in the first half. Is anyone going to talk about that? Or are they going to say, well, Oregon went to Evanston, got a 20-point win?
Yeah, was that the style points? The spread was 27.5. They didn't cover, but also, Northwestern was hanging around.
To Scott's point, Wisconsin is not Oregon. Wisconsin is not Penn State. Wisconsin is not Michigan. That is our place right now. We need to build the program back up to that point.
Yeah.
The last 2 years did not get the job done. Everybody knows that. Just because the program has been down and now went to Alabama and got beat by a team that you're probably going to get beat by even during some of the heydays of Badger football when you go to their place for a true road game. I mean, we couldn't beat them at a neutral site in 2015. We could, just because the program has been down doesn't mean we need to continue to kick it today. And that's after, look, I had my list here. For those who were joining us on YouTube just now, I had my list of things that sucked and things that did not suck. Things that sucked, the column is a lot bigger.
It was a rough football game.
It wasn't good today, but I'm not saying, and this goes back to the whole Luke Fickell conversation. I'm seeing the YouTube comments, and I'm seeing the text, JB in the V, Fickell needs to go. He's completely driven the program into the ground. Don't say that today, JB. They took care of business in their first two. If they lose next week to Maryland at home and they get embarrassed 38-14, sure, then we can have a conversation. If they lose like this to Washington in a few weeks, we can have a conversation. If they get boat raced by Minnesota, Iowa the way that they did last year, then we can start to have that conversation. Don't come at us with the Fickell needs to go conversation today. They weren't going to go win this game. They were 20.5-point underdogs. They were pretty much right at that line, and they could have got a garbage time score to cover at the end. Let's not pretend that the program right now is something that it's not.
That we didn't expect it to be either.
And I'm not saying I'm happy about that. I'm not. But that's what it is right now. Let's not make these harsh accusations on the program and the coach and the athletic director based on today's game that no one thought they were going to win anyway, except for Riley Yaka, who was in Tuscaloosa.
So, exactly. And before we go to break here, let's call a spade a spade. I think going back to the beginning of the season, if you went up to every Badger fan you could find and said, hey, play the schedule game with me really quick. Just check off win-loss, win-loss, win-loss. Out of 10, how many would say they're 2-1 right now with the first two wins they got and the loss today? 8, 9? And maybe the one in there is the Riley that said, hey, we're not losing a football. The Melvin Gordon, we're not losing a football game this year.
This is exactly where everybody thought this team would be after 3 weeks.
Yeah. And again, you don't have to be happy with it, but any claims of this was the damning game that proved to me that Luke Fickell doesn't need to be at the helm. This program is not in a spot, no matter who you put in his position, given the talent that they have right now and the recruiting that they're trying to recover from the last couple of years, that they could have gone in and beaten Alabama unless everything went right today. We're going to head to break in a moment, but first, make sure you save money and save the planet. Ditch the energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar, your local solar energy company based here in Madison. Visit EverlightSolar.com to learn more and make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. It's going to take a little elbow grease to do this, but we're going to give out helmet stickers when we return, and we're going to get very creative with it. That is on the other end of the break. You are listening to the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Postgame reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get house.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Baseball is back. Brian Balaga here to bring you a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Surfside Iced Tea and Vodka and Surfside Lemonade and Vodka. A delicious and perfect pairing for a day at the ballpark. Stocked at American Family Field all season long. Surfside is only 100 calories per serving, and the best part, 0 bubbles. Ask for it at your local bar or liquor store. Surfside, an official partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Must be 21 years of age. Please drink responsibly.
People travel the world to collect Hard Rock shirts, and Hard Rock Casino Rockford is going to give the people what they want. Get in on the action at Hard Rock Casino Rockford, where all new Unity card signups receive an official Hard Rock shirt, plus free play to kickstart a winning streak. Whether you're spinning the slots or playing the tables, you'll be dressed for success. Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Let's Hard Rock. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
At Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction, you won't have to worry about your old lawnmower pulling a hamstring. They make buying and selling easy. Wisconsin Surplus Online Auction is simple, reliable, and unlike your fantasy team this football season, they'll actually deliver. Have equipment taking up space? Let them be your surplus solution. You send it in, they list it, people bid, and you actually win. Bid, buy, sell, and score big today at WisconsinSurplus.com. Because winning isn't just for game day. WisconsinSurplus.com.
It's kickoff time at Metro Kia Madison. Get ready to score big with unbeatable season-starting deals. Drive home the electrifying 2025 Kia EV6 with 0% APR for 60 months, $16.67 per $1,000 borrowed. Or go long with the all-new 2026 Kia EV9 at just 0% APR for 48 months, only $20.83 per $1,000. But hurry, these championship deals end September 30th. Visit MetroKiaMadison.com to start your winning drive today.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just to you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Wrapping up the 2 o'clock hour on the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show, joined by Jesse Nelson here at Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton. I am Corey Sparks. 38-14, Wisconsin falls to number 19 ranked Alabama today. 844-770-3776, the Cardinals ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. This is more. We will get to more of your comments following today's game, but first, we are going to give out some helmet stickers for today's performance.
Let's see who earned it.
Jack Cichy doing it all on this drive for the Badger D. Melvin Gordon inside the 20. Uses the stiff arm. Hold on. Is he in? That's a Wisconsin touchdown. Going deep. Down the left sideline. Man's there and got it. In stride. And it's Vinny Anthony. Touchdown, Wisconsin.
Time to give out some helmet stickers on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
And in doing so, this kind of feels like it's appropriate for how today's game went. I won't get into the details, but we don't have the helmet. So I printed out a 2D version of the Wisconsin Badgers helmet. And
it doesn't even look like the Badger
We're going to
helmet.
put
like
little stars on it. Yeah, the dimensions are definitely off.
That's what we're using for helmet stickers?
Well, how did today's game go, Jesse?
I was looking forward to this segment. I got the big helmet. I got to put something on. I thought this would be fun.
This is reflective of how today went. So they got a 2D helmet sticker. Maybe we can go back to the real-life version that you can put on your head after the Maryland game.
The loser's helmet.
Do you want to do rock, paper, scissors for who gives it out first? Because we're both going to have a very similar line of people. Okay. Best of 3 or just right away?
On 3.
Shoot.
Yep. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 2, 3, boom. You
Vinny
win.
Anthony. 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to score the only, by homers mark, the only meaningful score for Wisconsin today. The Ballard touchdown catch with a few minutes to go. Game was essentially out of hand at that point. You can argue it was out of hand early in the third quarter. But Vinny Anthony responding right away. There were 2 scores, a total of 14 points through the first 28 seconds of the second half. He was lightning in a bottle, right? For that moment, at least, I think seeing him in the run game a little bit more would have been fun, but some of those guys were getting blown up in the backfield, so I would maybe have not wanted him or Trech Kekahuna to touch the ball more. But I think in general, when you have someone who's that dynamic, we were missing him on offense today. He gets the helmet sticker, but it's because of what he did in special teams.
I'd like to give it to the front 4 on defense. Run defense was good today against
Doesn't sound
Alabama.
like you'd like to do it.
I'd like to give it to the wait staff here at Monks in Middleton for the Jello shots for the 2 touchdowns that Wisconsin did score today. They do them after every touchdown, bring them around to all the tables. Pretty fun time. All the fans seem to enjoy that here at Monks in Middleton when we saw it in action. I'd like to give it to Joe Tessitore of Holy Moly fame on ABC. Calls boxing. I thought he called a good game as the announcer today on ABC and ESPN. That's what I got.
Anybody else wearing the cardinal and white that you'd like to?
No.
No, okay.
No.
I figured I'd ask.
No, Riley was way too positive on
I was going to say
down
Riley
there.
for sticking that out.
No, Riley and his buddies now, they were kind of starting to irritate me with how positive they were about this thing. Like, be more realistic, guys.
I could see you
They got
going
my
through-
hopes up during the pregame show is what happened. And then I realized after a quarter and a half, oh, yeah, this is what we were signing up for today.
I saw you go through the 3 different levels of emotions in the pregame show earlier today with
Talk
Mertzy.
I need to. This happened last year too. This is Groundhog Day, is what this is.
Yeah.
This is Bill Murray Groundhog Day.
Well,
we're
you
living
started.
the exact same day that we lived last year. 11 a.m. kickoff. Nobody thinks Wisconsin's going to beat Alabama. We get on the pregame show, and suddenly I start to believe as we talk about the game. The line starts to drop. Alabama slaps us up and down the field, and then we come and we talk about it at Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton. It's the same day I lived, like a day apart last year.
It is a little weird. I heard you go through all 3 emotions. You started by going Riley, respectfully, shut up. And then you were going, I kind of feel bad for him.
I do feel bad for him.
And then the final 10 to 20 minutes of the pregame show, you're like, you know what? I think I'm in. I think we're back, Mr. Yao.
This is exactly what happened last year when we were doing the show on Regent Street. I walked in, no way they win today. And by the time we signed off, I'm like, they might go out there and shock the world today. And
He's had a good influence on me because I've told you off the air. If you were to analyze my fandom on a spectrum, I'm a little more towards the pessimistic side. Stuff like this would make me more doom and gloom. But since working more with Riley a couple of weeks ago, I mean, you saw my prediction. I thought they were going to lose by 1 score. It became very clear that was not the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
But he got me to buy in.
Obnoxious optimism.
He's good at what he does.
And what we've experienced from Riley. Yeah, most people in our industry, you think, wow, they're too negative. They're too. Riley's the opposite. He's irritating people because he's too positive about it.
Riley is the outlier, and I admire it.
I'm seeing these people on the text line. Oh, you fickle apologists! You think we're fickle apologists? I'm not apologizing for anything.
No.
I'm just telling you. They lost under Paul Christ by almost the same score to Alabama. Let's not talk this is. Let's not say that this is a ton worse than what we've ever had before. But if you think we're apologists, just wait till we hear from Riley, who was at the game and was convinced they were going to win today.
We are more critical of the Badgers at this point than Riley is. All right, there's your helmet stickers. Vinny Anthony, the announcing crew. I'll give it to Riley for sticking it out. Monk's Bar and Grill, they put on a great show here, the Jello shots. Those are your helmet stickers. Hopefully more Badgers personnel. Oh, we have to put the star on. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So I gave out 2.
And I want to say, I think there were 7 or 8 servers here that I want to make sure I put one for each of them from Monks. I'm ultimately giving it to the servers at Monks in Middleton.
7, and then we'll do a little signature of I mean, I don't know if that's not the glorious helmet sticker idea you thought we had today.
Good.
I don't know what is.
That's
All right.
pretty good.
Those are your helmet stickers. 844-770-3776, the Cardinals ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Liz is more. For more than 65 years, Gordon Flesch Company has been providing cutting-edge technology for companies of all sizes as the nation's largest Canon and Lexmark dealer. That is business technology managed. Visit gflesch.com to learn more. All right, Jesse, as we go back to the comments, the one question I've had festering in my mind a little bit for the last hour, and I think I asked you in the weaning moments of today's 38-14 loss, was you made the statement, and I'm assuming you're still holding true to it at the beginning of the season, every game, every quarter, every series, every play does not need to be an indictment on Luke Fickell. But does a game like today, and we want to hear from you, 844-770-3776, the Cardinals talk and text line, Liz is more. Does a game like today against Alabama, should that hold more weight than the average game or less because there's such a talent gap, and we saw that today?
I think there are two very clear games that will carry the most weight this season for how we measure Luke Fickell and the Wisconsin Badgers. And then I think you could maybe lump a third into there.
Okay.
The two that will carry the most weight on where this program is and what its future is are the games against Iowa and the game against Minnesota to close out the regular season.
I'm with you.
Those are the two that, no matter where Wisconsin was at over the years, those were the two that you always could measure the team, and at least they were winning some of those rivalry games. Nebraska would be the other one. They're not on the schedule this year. So you could make the argument that Illinois, although Illinois is a top 10 team that has college football playoff aspirations.
Altmaier looks pretty good.
With Brett Bielema as their coach, I think that is by nature going to be a comparison that many fans will make. So I understand if you want to compare them to Illinois. I don't know if that's necessarily fair given where each program has been entering this season. But the game against Iowa, the game against Minnesota, fair game. But no matter what, whether Barry Alvarez, Brett Bielema, Paul Christ, or anybody else was the head coach of the Wisconsin Badgers, any era going to Tuscaloosa and winning at Alabama was an unlikely outcome.
This was the largest spread we've seen in years. Hey, I want to ask people at home, what did you expect to happen? We wanted to see them compete. That was our standard.
Well, fans wanted to feel good about the game. You wanted to feel like something came of it, and I understand that, and I wanted that too.
Yeah.
We didn't get that today.
But we look in the golden era of in football about 10 years ago, and they were still losing by 2-3 scores to these teams.
Well, yes. Again, how do you read a box score? Is it just by the final score?
100%.
Did Wisconsin beat Middle Tennessee 42-10 last week, or were they up 14-10 at halftime?
Then there's the Ohio State game, the Big Ten championship, where it's just like there's these powers.
They're up 21-7 in that game at one point, and then they end up losing. Well, take your pick of which Ohio State game we want to talk about.
Yeah, that's the other one, but we won't go there.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty to choose from in how you want to measure the team, but ultimately, this is not the game that we should make our judgment on Luke Fickell and Chris McIntosh and anybody else you want to judge. There are trends that you can see, and like recruiting trends, depth on the offensive line. Those are justifiable critiques of the program today that I would love to talk further about. But I do not want to have the conversation today of whether Luke Fickell is the guy for the job moving forward because of how they got embarrassed in Tuscaloosa. Because look at the amount of SEC teams that have gone to Tuscaloosa and gotten a win. I'll give you a hint. It's not many in the last 2 decades. So just because it's Kalen DeBoer and not Nick Saban doesn't mean that's not still Alabama and that's not still a difficult place to play. Do you see those people there today?
Yeah.
Don't judge Luke Fickell's status as the head coach based on the outcome today.
I'm not in the business of making excuses either, but you've got to think Alabama's been playing with a bit of fire under their rear ends after the comments that were made all over. Pick your social media platform here after the loss to Florida State. UL Monroe didn't. That win didn't do anything for anyone. The next comment was what people were throwing the Badgers' way. Congrats, you beat Middle Tennessee State by 32 points. Good stuff. Well, now instead it was just you replaced Middle Tennessee State with and replaced 32 points with 70-something points. If they were still playing with a chip on their shoulder, they're probably going to do it the rest of the year. You lose to a team like Florida State, who actually might end up being pretty good again this year. They're still facing a ton of criticism. Everyone's calling for DeBoer's head. Everyone's reading Nick Saban's body language on national television, scheming that he really wants him out of there, even though he's never verbally said that. He's clearly not happy with the loss in week 1. But they were playing with a fire under them today. You could still feel that. They didn't exercise all of their demons against UL Monroe.
I think one of the worst things that could have happened for Wisconsin this year was that Alabama lost that opener the way they did to
The
Florida
urgency
State.
was there.
Because if they had eked out a win there, they could have talked about how they weren't aggressive enough or whatever, but they would have felt still complacent because they had won the game. They lost that game. That lit a fire for that team. Clearly, the way they put 73 on Monroe last week and the way they came out firing against the Badgers today.
I completely agree. Corey Sparks, Jesse Nelson here with you from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton, Wisconsin. Taking your calls and texts on the other end of the break. 844-770-3076 is the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. We bring in the 3 o'clock hour of the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show next here on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Your family's safety is your responsibility, and it starts with a solid roof. When the next storm rips through and takes some of your shingles with it, call Badgerland Exteriors. Or looking to replace your whole roof but don't want to break the bank? Let the team at Badgerland Exteriors give you a free, no obligations estimate.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
I wasn't sure if college was right for me. I worried that it would be too stressful or rigid, but I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. At Madison College, the atmosphere is relaxed, and the instructors are friendly and collaborative. It's such a cohesive environment. My advice to others, take a deep breath and go for it. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
This is a magical month at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, with 13 chances to win big every week. Starting at 6 p.m. each Friday in September, 12 winners will enter an enchanted forest and select a cash prize of up to $2,500. Then at 9 p.m. every Friday, one winner will open a door to reveal a grand prize of up to $10,000 in cash. Be here for our Forest of Fortune promotion happening every Friday night in September. Don't miss your chance for prizes all month long at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Bring your family out to the next Forward Madison FC game. Their family special, sponsored by Madison Gas and Electric, is the perfect budget-friendly option for any families to enjoy professional soccer in Madison. For just $21, get your game ticket, plus a meal and scarf. Get your family together and come cheer on the Mingos as they make their playoff push. Head to forwardmadisonfc.com to learn more and get your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com.
This is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Madison, Wisconsin is as good as it gets.
It's all about the Badgers.
Go Badgers! Go Badgers!
Games like this is what really separates college football from everything else.
That was J.J. Watt, and what a story this young man is. Gordon again! What a performance by Melvin Gordon! And the pass rush gets home for the Badgers. Camp Randall lets it roar.
An unrivaled fan base, the best college sports town in the world. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
So live it up right here, right now. Till the sun comes up and the lights go out. So live it up right here, right now. Till the sun comes up and the lights go out.
38-14 the final as Wisconsin falls to number 19 ranked Alabama, the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa, where Riley Yaka had boots on the ground. We'll be talking to him later this hour. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day show, brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. When you need to refresh on game day, choose a beer that's as cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, and that's crush a Coors Light. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, the 3 o'clock hour, where we bring that in alongside Jesse Nelson. I'm Corey Sparks here at Monk's Bar and Grill here in Middleton, Wisconsin. We've got a packed hour. We'll have red hot, ice cold later this hour. We will have the drive of the game. We'll have our boots on the ground reporter in Riley Yaka. We'll have final takeaways and look ahead to Maryland next week as well. We won't do too much of the pregame show because, by the way, Jesse, you worked a doubleheader today. That's usually your shtick
big
before
Saturday.
the game, so I appreciate you joining me today.
My pleasure. I wouldn't pass up a trip to Monks in Middleton. That's when I do the post-game shows. I love it here at Monks in Middleton. It's a great spot, great bar,
It is.
Great game day atmosphere. I just wish I'd get here after a win once in a while. Oh, Alabama, Minnesota last year, Alabama this year. Let's get here for a good one. Let's go Middle Tennessee next year. Whoever next year's version of Middle Tennessee, let's do that one at Monks in Middleton.
We got to line that up.
Starting to feel bad for this place.
844-770-3776. The Carveless ESPN Wisconsin talking text line. Liz is more. And Jesse, it's lighting up right now, as it should be. I'm sure today's performance warranted a lot of responses.
It is. So, yeah, there's a lot of text to go through here. Let's start with where should we start with? Joe and the Boonies. Something has to change with the offensive line. Well, Joe, I think part of the problem was they were constantly changing the offensive line, and that's part of how they got to the position that they were in. Doesn't hurt that your best second best Riley Mahlman's your best offensive lineman, then Renfro's your second best offensive lineman. But I thought Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer did a great job discussing what was going on the offensive line throughout the course of this game.
Yeah, we get to our third-string center snapping the ball. You could even see the offense was a little bit dictated by that. O'Neal was under center a lot more in that first series when they made the change. I mean, we talked about controllables before. Jake Renfro going down in the first half. That doesn't help. That's not something you can control. That's not something we can pull up the film and spread across Twitter X tomorrow and say that should have been fixed. When you have your starters, the guys that you are, pinning a lot of your hopes on based on their prior experience, going down due to injury, you just have to be able to improvise. You have to be able to pivot. And that's one of those uncontrollables that I'm not really able to sit here and criticize.
I will say this, though, for Joe and for everyone else who's talking about the offensive line. There could have been more done in the offseason to address the depth situation.
Sure. So when something like this happens, next man up, the next man up was ready for the moment.
We knew when the team was practicing in Platteville, and it was pretty well documented by everybody who covers the team, there was not a lot of depth on this offensive line.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it has now shown its face during one of the toughest challenges of the season, going to Tuscaloosa and trying to play against Alabama. So if you knew there was already a depth problem in the spring, there could have been more done to try and pick somebody up in that transfer portal window that was still open Don't know if that's going to be the case long term, but it was the case this year.
Yep.
You would think that the team would have wanted to spend a little more money, go find somebody from a, whether it's a mid-major school or a similar Power 4 school, and see if you could attract them into what makes Wisconsin great. It's bread and butter, and look at the amount of offensive linemen in the National Football League who played here. Like, you would think that this would be an appealing place to build more depth on the offensive line. And if you have to do that in the portal as opposed to bringing some kid from Rhinelander or wherever else in the state in to do it, if you realize that's an area of weakness, if you know that depth is going to be an issue, you can't assume ever that you're just going to play 5 offensive linemen and be good for the season. And that I'm not saying that's what they were expecting this year, but it seems like they were not equipped well enough to face any adversity on the line.
And I think we saw some of that writing on the wall in the first couple of games, especially if you want to go back to those ugly first 2 quarters against Middle Tennessee State, Jesse. Like, we weren't running the ball well. I was expecting through the first couple of weeks, if Dylan Jones was going to be the guy, that he was going to be around 200, 250, maybe 300 rushing yards. And against Middle Tennessee State, the longest runs that the Badgers had were those trick plays. It was the double reverse. It was the end around, the jet sweep look. When you're giving it to Trech Kahuna out in the open space, and he wasn't even in the backfield to begin the play. So you almost had to trick these non-group of 4 schools to actually be able to run the ball successfully. So it's not a huge shock to me that reared its ugly head against Alabama. Where it really gets ugly is Jeff Grimes' offense is built off the run, right? You just brought it up. Yeah. It's catered towards run protection.
He talked about it all preseason, all training camp. Like they want to establish the run to throw the ball effectively.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to double down on that when Billy Edwards Jr. goes down and Danny O'Neal's in there. The last thing you want to do is scare him, and now he has to throw the ball 35, 40 times. You don't want to get in those obvious passing scenarios, which you can pick up different parts of the game today. That was one. It was 3rd and long way too often.
Yeah, think about this in Packers terms. Last year, Jordan Love gets hurt in Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Week 2, the Colts come to town, and the Packers ran the ball 1,000 times.
Yep.
With Josh Jacobs. Like, that is Wisconsin football wanted to, back in the day with Barry and Bielema, like, they wanted to run the ball 1,000 times anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're facing any adversity with your quarterback. That should be something you can fall back to and know that you can do that efficiently and at least control tempo and keep a game low scoring as best you can. And especially the defensive effort that we saw from the front side of that defense today. Like, they could have stayed in the game if they were able to control more of the line of scrimmage. The offensive line is the reason why they couldn't get that done today. I think there is a very valid criticism for where the program is at today on the offensive line and the depth that is missing there when that has been the bread and butter of what's made the Wisconsin football program for the last 25, 30 years.
Agreed. And if you're going to claim you're going back to more of a run-oriented renaissance, you need to build the offensive line, and that includes, to your point, Jesse, when guy number 3 goes down, guy number 6 better be able to step up, shift over, and fill his spot. Folks, if you are looking for a reliable roofing and home restoration company in Wisconsin, look no further than Badgerland Exteriors. They are here to help residential and commercial roofing, siding, and solar. Badgerland Exteriors has you covered. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started today on your next project. We are continuing to take your calls, your texts, your YouTube chats on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin Talk and Text line. List is more. You can comment on the ESPN Madison and ESPN Milwaukee YouTube channel live chats, or you can call into this number, 844-770-3776. Jesse, when we return, we're going to play a little game called Red Hot Ice Cold, the best and worst from what we saw today against Alabama. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show on ESPN Wisconsin.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Bruner Realty and ESPN Madison have teamed up again for the 5th annual Putts for Pups golf outing benefiting the Dane County Humane Society. Join us for a day of golf at Blackhawk Country Club on September 19th. Since it started in 2021, Putts for Pups has raised over $120,000 for the Dane County Humane Society. Donate or find out how you can get involved at putsforpups.com. Putts for Pups is proudly sponsored by Badgerland Exteriors, Alts Operations, Zimbrick Automotive, and Vortex Optics.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Skilled trade workers are the backbone of every community and also the Army National Guard. Soldiers trained to keep the power flowing, engines running, and in every other trade needed to accomplish the mission. These soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Matt LePay for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. Since 1934, Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress destination for quality, selection, and service. For over 90 years, Steinhoffels has helped Wisconsinites create the homes of their dreams and is 100% employee-owned. Steinhoffels has the largest selection of all the latest styles and all the best mattress brands. You'll find something for every style and every budget. Shop in-store or online at steinhoffels.com. Relax, it's Steinhoffels.
This weekend on ESPN Radio, the hunt for October takes us to Fenway Park.
Let's go light up the night. God! Aaron Judge has gone deep.
The Yankees at the Red Sox. Sunday on 100.5 ESPN.
When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We're feeling all right when the sun sinks down. Over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, yeah.
They're calling us clowns on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens.
No, that's not the first time I've been called a clown on YouTube. We get the occasional,
It's not even the top 10 of things people have said about me on YouTube this week. Yes, nothing but excuses for these two clowns. That's what they're saying about us on YouTube and how we're talking about the game.
I think the one excuse I made was Bama being fired up. Still didn't play good football against them today, but that's fair. All right.
About from the Badgers' loss today. Brian, I didn't expect to win, but I did expect a little fight. There was no fight on either side of the ball for the Badgers. That's why Fickle needs to go. I expect some fight. The players deserve better.
I just don't know if this program's in a spot where even our version of them putting up a fight looked like much different than it did today. Did we want it to be closer at halftime? Because then beyond that, I don't know. Looking back at it, right, Jesse, one of your goals going into the game was if it was a one-possession game and Wisconsin had the football, we were feeling really, really good. But some of those touchdowns, the Ryan Williams cut up the field where I think he would have left any defensive back in the country in his past by doing that, or the Isaiah Horton beautiful catch on a quick slant over the head of Ricardo Hallman. That's not a coaching, that's not a discipline, it's nothing but a skill gap. So that's not something we could have changed this season. When the transfer portal closed and the season started, this team is what they are. You can only develop so much over the course of a year, and you can only, in turn, blame so much of that on Luke Fickell. This is not the game to criticize him. You said it.
Ricardo Hallman's a pretty good corner.
Very good corner.
And he got carved up a little bit today by some really good wide receivers.
In tight coverage sometimes, too.
Had some really good throws from Simpson. He made a lot of good plays today.
He was impressive.
He wasn't Joe Namath, but there were moments where you started to wonder. Jerry in the YouTube comments, you lose games when you make errors at the worst times. The Badgers succeeded in that category. Next game, improvement, or again, mistakes. Yeah, Alabama is, of course, going to make you pay for when you make mistakes the way that they did with the penalties on third and long, and Alabama doesn't convert a third down, but there's a roughing the passer or getting away with a pass interference on a third down conversion, and instead now it's 3rd and 18 and you get backed up. How Maryland responds next week, how Washington, how even other lesser teams than Alabama, Michigan, and Illinois.
Indiana doesn't look great so far.
That's going to be interesting to see how those teams handle types of, and if Wisconsin can bounce back better. But against Alabama, if you're going to make those kinds of mistakes, no, you're not going to win the game. That's always been the case for as long as I have been alive.
And you're going to pay for them immediately, right? It's not going to be 7 plays later. It's going to be, okay, we understand that we are superior to your secondary right now. I want to bring up something I remember Brad Nortman saying before last year's game against Alabama. But first, our friends over at Liberty Station are doing a great thing. They're running a game day shuttle program during home games this football season. A super cool opportunity for all of you, because for just $20, you get a Coors Light in hand and a round-trip ride to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station, American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. So before last year's matchup with Alabama, where you could argue morale was marginally higher, there were some people out there who thought, okay, I mean, even the spread wasn't as wide as it was today, although it closed down to 18.5 before the game started. It was maybe we can go in and shock some people. And this year it was let's compete with them. I remember Brad Nortman, I'm going to paraphrase here, in the pregame show last year saying, Wisconsin needs to play an A-plus game to get the win. Wisconsin needs to play an A-plus game, and you need like a C minus from Alabama. On your own grading scales, right? You need Wisconsin to play the best, cleanest game they've played in years, and you need Alabama to make critical mistakes. Wisconsin played a C game, and I would argue it's even worse than that.
Yeah, I don't think they played a C
Maybe
game.
Maybe a D plus?
C minus at
C
best.
minus?
At best.
You can't do that and expect anything. Now, again, this is not to disrespect Maryland. This is not to disrespect Washington, Minnesota, Iowa. Those games were really, I think, it's more fair to make these big picture questions about who's leading this football team if Wisconsin goes out and puts up a stinker against those teams. But you're not going to pay against Maryland or Iowa or Minnesota in the same instant gratification fashion that Alabama delivered to them today. You're just not. The mistakes are still going to hurt. You still need to clean them up, but you're not going to pay for it in the next play or two and as often as Wisconsin did against Bama today.
I've got a text here from Steve in SoCal on the Carbless ESPN Wisconsin talking to. Do you want me to do my Californians voice?
Let's do it.
It's a long text.
I haven't heard it.
Oh, my God. This is
a long text. You get to do the whole.
Hey, studs. So Steve in SoCal. Hey, studs.
That's nicer than clowns.
Wisconsin has 59 yards of offense as the half. Enough said, dude. This program, I can't do it. I can't.
Please.
This program is not Ohio State. It's not Michigan. It's not Oregon. Not Penn State. Not Iowa. Not Minnesota. Not Indiana. It's not even University of Southern Cal, dude. The Badgers have regressed in each of Fickell's years, yet you don't think it's time to consider a coaching change? Wonder what Barry Alvarez thinks of this shoddy effort. Enjoy the season. Try to hire Georgia Tech's coach who, despite his subpar talent, actually competes with occasional teams. He defeats top teams. Dude, it's from Steven Socal.
So, is it a prerequisite to be an ESPN Madison teammate to be able to do impersonations? Because Riley has a ton of them.
Riley's not good at it, though.
But he does that.
Yeah, quantity does not equal quality.
It's not something I just go around doing.
Steven Socal. I don't know. So just because Georgia Tech won today, can we not say let's hire that coach instead of Fickle? Like,
so
just
that's prisoner of the moment.
Yeah, great job. Okay.
That's prisoner of the moment. But I think Steve's onto something in that we are craving that. We saw it here at Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton. They've got a straight setup, or they've got a great setup here. We saw the team without the little ranking number take down Clemson today. We've been craving that for a while. So I empathize for Steve's craving for a marquee win. This also is the first of many chances this season for a marquee win. They have more chances this year than they did last year.
I got to admit, I know Georgia Tech has won or been competitive in a bunch of close games against ranked teams when they're an underdog the last couple of years.
They've been a good upset team, yeah.
I don't know the name of their head coach. I saw it this morning on TV, and I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
They interviewed it. It was on TV in front of us after they beat Clemson an hour ago. I don't remember the name.
Trust Circle, I'm in there with you.
So I'm sorry, I don't remember Georgia Tech's coach's name. We're not going to hire Georgia Tech's coach immediately just because they beat Clemson today and we lost by 24 points to Alabama in a true road game.
And it's one of those, too, where you can just pick your moment, right? Like, we're craving to have that one game every year or two. Last year it would have been Vanderbilt. Why can't we just go out and beat Alabama like Vanderbilt did? And I know that's an SEC team, but you really put a caveat next to that when you look at what they've accomplished in recent memory going into last year. This year it's Georgia Tech. Maybe it's Duke down the road because they have a really good defense.
Well, A&M did hire Duke's coach. We'll see what happens there tonight when they play Notre Dame because otherwise,
yeah.
So far, same story for Texas A&M. They're kind of the Wisconsin of the SEC. They thought they'd get over the hump with Jimbo Fisher. They actually didn't, and now they're trying to build it back up.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what we are feeling like we're at right now. And we're not alone in this in college football. Like
there's teams who have been begging for this. So as fun as it is to look at the Clemsons the Georgia Techs of the world and the Dukes of the world and the Vanderbilts when they pulled that off last year of the world and say, I want that. It's fine to want that, but there's so many teams. I know Alabama's. It seems to be heading in the wrong direction. If you want to magnify that Florida State loss, Alabama's still beating 98% of teams in college football right now. We're not alone. And they're beating, 90% of them in the fashion they beat Wisconsin today, where it's not exactly competitive either. Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealer. Whether you need to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Ford, Metro Ford is the place to go. Visit Metro Ford of Madison on the east side today or go to their website, metrofordofmadison.com, to see this month's specials and browse their amazing inventory. Should we check in with our buddy Riley in the next segment here? See how he's doing?
I'm gonna feel bad
Take
for
his
him.
temperature.
Should we?
I'd
Poor
okay
guy's probably trying to drown his sorrows somewhere in Alabama.
That could make for a good fun.
He was so optimistic for months that we were going to go win this game, and it wasn't even close.
Sometimes you just need to talk about it when something doesn't go well, though. Like when I went in and got a D+ on a chemistry test my sophomore year, I just went home and talked about it to my parents. Riley needs someone to talk right now.
Well, he's got 5 friends with him in Alabama.
I don't know what state they're in, Jesse.
I'm going to put it that way. He said it was 60-40 Badgers fans this afternoon. I think he's got a lot of people he could choose to talk about it, but he wants to talk about it with us. Sure, we can talk about it with Riley coming up.
Okay, perfect. We're going to have Riley Yaka, friend of the show, join the show next. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show on ESPN Wisconsin.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is a magical month at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, with 13 chances to win big every week. Starting at 6 p.m. each Friday in September, 12 winners will enter an enchanted forest and select a cash prize of up to $2,500. Then at 9 p.m. every Friday, one winner will open a door to reveal a grand prize of up to $10,000 in cash. Be here for our Forest of Fortune promotion happening every Friday night in September. Don't miss your chance for prizes all month long at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Looking for the perfect pizza meal just for you? Introducing Pizza Hut's new personal pizzas, the Crafted Flats. 5 bold, hand-stretched personal pizza recipes. 3 cheese, pepperoni duo, the ultimate, and for a limited time, Nashville hot chicken and chicken bacon ranch. All just $5 each, all day. The perfect pizza deal for lunch, dinner, or on game days. Order your $5 Crafted Flats at one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Midwest's best baseball players have one thing in common: GRB Academy. For 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, producing over 468 college commits and 27 major league draft picks. Their Windsor facility has 52,000 square feet of elite baseball training space. Next up to bat is GRB's Top Prospect Camp on Sunday, October 12th, open to the high school classes of 2026 through 2029. Claim your spot now at grbacademy.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen coming up Monday. Damian Woody joins us in studio at 7:30 a.m. Eastern to react to Week 2 in the NFL and to look ahead to a Monday Night Football doubleheader. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From L.A. to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
What is up, Wisconsin? I'm Hunter Vaughn. We start with some games in the Big Ten that happened on Friday. Former Wisconsin Badger lineman Jason Eck and New Mexico got a win in L.A. over the UCLA Bruins. UCLA is 0-3, on the season. And 22nd ranked Indiana, they took down a real tough opponent, Indiana State, 73-0. So, they're obviously a just quality program. Number 23, Michigan, they got a win, 63-3 over Central Michigan. The Badgers did fall 38-14 to Wisconsin. The 4th-ranked Oregon Ducks winning in the Baby Stadium at Northwestern, 34-14. Maryland, they're 3-0, but they beat Townsend today, 44-17. And Nebraska, they thumped Houston Christian, 59-7. Again, just some awesome opponents for the rest of the Big Ten today. Michigan State is up on Youngstown State, 14-3. Rutgers is leading Norfolk State, 13-3. USC and Purdue still in a delay, and number 2 Penn State up 10-0 on Villanova. Back to Monks and Middleton.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
Thank you very much, Hunter Vaughn. We appreciate the update. Wisconsin did shoot themselves in the foot a lot today, so that is a fair analysis. Everybody, make sure you experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Sun Prairie or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. We're going to get real creative with this one. It is time for as we look back at Wisconsin's 38-14 loss against Alabama, it is time to go over the drive of the game.
It's the drive of the game.
He's got the corner, and the Badgers touchdown answers quickly.
On ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The Badgers punctuating and pulling away.
The drive of the game is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers, helping guys score for more than 25 years.
Here's what I did to find the drive of the game. I opened up the wonderful ESPN app. I went to Box Score. I went over to Play-by-Play, actually. Then I closed the app, went to Google, and looked up distance from Madison, Wisconsin to Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The drive of the game goes to Riley Yaka, who we have on the phone right
good.
now.
I like that.
12 hours and 19 minutes in transit. Riley, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Corey. I'll be honest. You had me going there for a second. I was about to be like, why did I call in during the drive of the game segment? That doesn't make much sense. But fantastic work, Corey. You're the consummate professional host.
It's kind of a default thing, though, Riley, honestly, because a kickoff is not a drive, and the best drive ended in an interception in the red zone. So what else did you really want us to do?
Yeah, that's fair. Unfortunately, not a lot to cheer about up in the nosebleeds of Bryant-Denny Stadium. That's for sure. But you know what they say.
Are you okay,
Win or
Riley?
lose,
No, wait.
we booze.
Yeah.
And there's lots of
I do say
fans
that.
here. There's lots of fans here at a bar down south, the Happening Bar here. It's about 50-50 Badgers fans to Tide fans. Lots of cooler
winning that.
being consumed here by Wisconsin, that's for sure.
Well, I'm glad everyone there is having fun, even though we lost the game by a ton, because we're at Monks in Middleton, and there's still some fans here who are having a good time. But everyone on YouTube, everyone texting in wants to fire Luke Fickell and think this is an embarrassment for the program. How did it feel in Tuscaloosa today, Riley? You thought they were going to win.
Yeah, I mean, the fans here, they're trying their best. They're putting on brave faces. But it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. You could tell, I mean, after that first interception by Danny O'Neal, right after the fourth down stop, the air went out of the Wisconsin contingent here in Tuscaloosa, which there was, in the stadium, too, there was a very large contingent of Cardinal and White, which was awesome to see. But right away, it was like, here we go again. Great opportunity to get some momentum, score first, and there it goes. And the Badgers really never got it back. So people are trying. They're still partying. They're getting the most out of their experience. But this is the first phrase that came to my mind after this game, fellas. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. And that's how I'm feeling. I think that's how a lot of Badgers fans are feeling who want to stay positive. We try to keep getting their hope up, and it just continues to come back to bite us. So it's frustrating. People are trying, but it's a rough game.
I'm going to put my Riley Yaka on and try and go glass half full here, Riley. The Badgers' defense did make Alabama one-dimensional. They were just very good at that dimension, and that was passing it. Does that at least count for something from your perspective as we get into Big Ten play and they're going to be taking on, this is down the road, but the Iowas and the Minnesotas of the world, knowing that Bama couldn't run the ball on this Badgers team?
Exactly. No, I totally agree, and I think that will pay dividends against an Iowa team that can't throw the football. Mark Gronowski is, by all accounts, not the best quarterback. Drake Lindsey for the Gophers, he doesn't look like anything special. So I think Luke Fickell and Mike Tressel, their whole plan to get bigger and beefier up front to compete in the Big Ten and win those rivalry games will pay dividends. But unfortunately, as expected, and even more so than I thought, our secondary was horribly outmatched by this Alabama receiving corps. They had whatever they wanted. And unfortunately, outside of a couple plays, the Wisconsin defense couldn't get home. So I love that they were able to make them one-dimensional, But that was the biggest aspect for me, where Alabama just flexed their muscles and proved that they were the better football team today.
Talking to Riley Yaka, who normally hosts this postgame show. He is at a bar in Tuscaloosa after attending today's drubbing for the Badgers, 38-14. And if this was Green Bay game night, Homer would say it was 38-7 was the final score in Tuscaloosa today. Riley, how did the experience in the stadium at Bryant-Denny Stadium, how did that compare to Camp Randall?
I mean, I feel like it's difficult to compare. You could tell the Alabama fans really didn't get up for this game. Tons of empty seats in the house. They didn't do Dixieland Delight until the 2-minute timeout in the fourth quarter. I tweeted this out. The band was really mediocre. Their band has nothing on the University of Wisconsin marching band, that is for sure. But overall, the fans were fantastic. The ones that were there were fantastic. They were cheering that big sack on Danny O'Neal on, I believe, the third or second to last drive of the game. You would have thought it would happen in the first quarter. They were great, and they were all nothing but kind. As we walked into the stadium, we got, y'all welcome to Alabama. And here at the bar in the stadium, everyone has come up and asked, have we been treating you right? Have people been treating you right down here? And the answer is yes, they have been fantastic. But I'm being objective here. I understand I'm totally biased. But the game day experience in Madison at Camp Randall, I think is second to none, and it's certainly not second to Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. Significantly better than that.
Ooh. All right, so this is the second half of like a home and home going to last year, right, Riley? And I remember you telling me that you met a few Alabama fans who made the 12-hour and 19-minute drive up north to the state capital here in Madison, and they said, oh, I'm not even going to try the southern accent thing, but basically they said, we got something good going on over here, but it doesn't compare to what they have. Did you find anybody there who had made the trip up to Camp Randall last year and was back at home for this game?
No, not anyone specifically who made the trip last year. We've met a lot of people who know people who went up last year, but they all, it seems like from hearsay, most of the Tide fans were treated very well up in Madison last year, and they have been very concerned about how we are treated down here, which I really appreciate. The Southern hospitality is legit.
There you go.
I will 100% give them that. Tuscaloosa fans, the Tuscaloosa population, very friendly. They know how to treat their guests.
Riley, we're going to let you go. Is there anything you would lastly like to share while you are live with boots on the ground in Tuscaloosa, Alabama?
I'd just like to let everyone know to keep the faith. It was a rough game today. Not what we wanted to see. Certainly not what I thought we were going to see today. But this team is better. Jeff Grimes called a solid game today. There will be improvements. Hopefully you couldn't hear what people are yelling behind me so you don't have to dump me. But this team will make strides. They will make a bowl game. The sky is not falling. We move on from here. 3-1 after next week, heading into the bye. Take care, guys. Have a great rest of your show. Appreciate y'all having me on Wisconsin.
Appreciate y'all as well, Riley. Go do some crowd control there. My goodness.
He's already got the twang. He's going to inherit the southern twang before he makes the drive back up here. That is awesome.
There's Riley Yaka from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, in SEC country, as he was at that daggone game at Bryant-Denny Stadium on a forgettable Saturday in September 13th, 2025.
Riley will be back on the postgame show with me next week. We love and appreciate him.
About Maryland.
I hope he has a lot of fun.
Hope we'll beat the Terps next week. Maryland. We'll beat Maryland next week.
Introducing
Scott Van Pelt, Terps. NBC's
Do you work on that?
NBC's got that game next week. How'd that happen?
Is this something you practice off the air?
No,
okay.
actually, no.
Is this so this is something that just comes out when the red light's on?
Yeah.
My goodness. That's pretty good.
Maryland.
I like to imagine you like rehearsing this, like in front of Becca or anybody.
No.
Not a party trick?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, folks, introducing Pizza Hut's new handcrafted personal flats pizzas for just $5 each. You can enjoy bold recipes like Nashville hot chicken, pepperoni, duo, 3-cheese, ultimate, and CBR, chicken bacon ranch. The perfect pizza deal, perfect for game days. Find the nearest location or order online at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Didn't you have the flats in the office last night?
Oh, we did. They were so good.
I'm hearing good things.
Nashville hot chicken and the chicken bacon ranch. They were very good flats pizzas from Pizza Hut.
All right. I will have to Still got the twang going. When we return, we put a bow on this post-game show. We'll go final takeaways. We will go over red hot, ice cold, the best and worst from today, and a very quick, very brief look ahead to Maryland. Possible Billy Edwards Jr. return game against his fourth-ranked team. All right, that's on the other end of the break. I can't even talk anymore. This is the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show on ESPN Wisconsin.
Post-game reaction continues next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Want to join the fastest-growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest-growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
It's kickoff time at Metro Florida Madison, and we're bringing the heat with unbeatable truck deals. Get the 2025 F-150 Lightning with 0% APR for 72 months, $13.89 per $1,000 borrowed, or tackle any job with the 2024 F-150 or F-150 XLT, now at 2.9 APR for 66 months, $16.41 per $1,000 borrowed. These offers end September 30th, so don't fumble your chance to save. Visit MetroFloridaMadison.com and score your next truck today.
Electric bills are out of control, but with federal incentives, you can go solar with zero upfront cost and start saving hundreds a month. Badgerland Exteriors and Solar is a local and family-owned company, and they make the switch to solar simple. No pressure, no hassle, just honest.
AJ with Badgerland Exteriors here. Contracting made easy is more than a tagline. It's how we run our family business. Visit BadgerlandExteriors.com to get started on your next project. That's BadgerlandExteriors.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Former basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal is DJ Diesel, and he's coming to the Sylvia on Friday, September 19th. Catch Shaq and his Base All-Stars live. Tickets on sale now at Sylvie.com. Don't miss your chance to see Shaq, DJ Diesel live in Madison on September 19th.
Get ready to say goodbye to those bland seltzers at the ballpark. Carbless is proudly Wisconsin-born, crafted by real people. A husband and wife team who wanted better cocktails in a can. They're locally made and blissfully better. Carbless offers a bold, true cocktail flavor that's made for baseball fans. Available in fan-favorite flavors like lemon lime, black raspberry, cranberry, and mango, bringing the craft cocktail bar to your seat. Refreshment that matches the energy of American Family Field is Carbless. Full of flavor, no sugar, and no carbs. Just game day bliss.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
We're on the Packers.
This speed of this defense is a step faster than everybody they've played so far.
Because we're on Wisconsin Sports.
This Micah Parsons effect, it's even bigger than I think we thought.
Nobody covers the green and gold like 100.5 ESPN.
Look around,
Wrapping up the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day post-game show on 100.5 ESPN Madison, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, and the ESPN Madison and Milwaukee YouTube channels, as well as the ESPN Wisconsin app. Corey Sparks, Jesse Nelson here with you at Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton, Wisconsin. A reminder that winners go to Ho Chunk Gaming in Madison, the casino with the highest payouts in the area. Go be a winner at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. They're open right now and stay open until 2 a.m. on a Monday. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. 844-770-3776 as we continue to check the carbless ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. Less is more. We're going to play a very quick game. We look at the best and worst from today. This is called Red Hot, Ice Cold.
Ho was scorching.
Going to keep it himself, another rushing touchdown for Wisconsin. Pouring it on in Piscataway.
Who froze up?
Block from his end zone. It's picked off. Jalen Reed. Touchdown. Huge play for the Penn State defense.
It's time to play Red Hot, Ice Cold on ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
He's got a fever.
Now, Jesse, you kind of played Red Hot Ice Cold at about 1:40 when you put your list together.
I did, yeah.
Essentially, there we go.
The whole thing.
So you've got your pick of the litter here.
Yeah, things that sucked and things that did not suck.
Also notice Red Hot Ice Cold. What would you take of your things that did not suck list that would be oh so deserving of being classified as Red Hot today?
Vinny Anthony kick return.
That was pretty cool, huh?
That was pretty cool.
We kind of needed that.
That was a shot in the arm we sure needed.
I don't know what the show would look like if you didn't do that.
Gosh, there's really not a lot to choose. The run defense was good today, and that's something that I think when the Badgers get in the film room and they look this game over, they will look at their run defense and say they made. You mentioned earlier they made Alabama one-dimensional. That's good.
Yeah,
they just dominated that other dimension, and it didn't really matter. But the run defense was good and effective, and those guys up front played really well today and made Alabama throw the ball effectively. They did.
They just got them right where they want them at that point. But, yeah, Wisconsin was trying to dictate, make them one-dimensional, and that's exactly what happened. Echoing what Riley said on the phone call last block, I think Jeff Grimes dialed up some good plays. Again, there's just the separation from really, really, really good athletes and Wisconsin ramping back up to try and get to that point or close to that point. There's a little wheel route out of the backfield that I thought went really well. He schemed some guys open. There was just, I feel like we mixed the run game up really well.
There were a couple of nice things. There were a lot of bad things.
No, I'm not going to say he called an amazing game, but I saw some things that I think would work a lot better, again, in these Minnesota games, and I'll echo that with you, defensive line. Okay, to the other end of your list. Who was, or what was,
my God, I mean,
ice cold?
Where do you want to start?
I'll just read it again.
Danny O'Neal's 2 interceptions in clutch situations. One when it was a scoreless game in the first quarter, and it shifted in momentum for the entire complexion of the game.
Yeah.
The other came in the red zone. Now it was already 35-7, I think, at that point.
First one hurt a lot more.
Both interceptions came at costly times for the bad. The penalties were really ice cold today. And in general, I think the secondary we can look at, and the offensive line play. Those are the two position groups today. More so than quarterback, I would say. Those are concerning. Secondary, I think, just got beat because Alabama had a ton of talent.
Yeah.
The offensive line for the Badgers needs to be better. And I don't know what needs to happen over the next couple of weeks or the next year in recruiting or transfer portal or whatever, but that offensive line is not up to the standard that we expect it to be.
And back to your quarterback point with Danny O'Neal, and again, you did a great job in the pregame show of separating your heart from your brain. You're like, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for all these great things to happen, but I think Wisconsin loses by a few possessions.
That was
here.
pretty close.
And it was pretty close, right? I really wanted Danny O'Neal to make us have that conversation of, who's going to be the starter? He played pretty well. Let's just kill that right now. We got our answer today.
Yeah.
There's a reason the depth chart is the way it is. Hopefully Billy Edwards Jr. comes back. I think against most competition, until we hit this gauntlet, which is coming up, the Badgers will be fine. They'll be serviceable on offense. But we're not having that conversation after today unless he just goes out and absolutely balls. This is Billy Edwards' job as the QB1.
I wouldn't be surprised with a bye week after the Maryland game next Saturday, and I know as much as Billy Edwards would love to do a revenge game against Maryland, it would make sense in the schedule if Danny O'Neal still plays next week and Billy Edwards gets then 2 more full weeks to get refreshed and recover and come back for the Michigan game in the first weekend in October.
Yeah, I'm with you there. My quick ice cold fourth downs, specifically the first two notables. Bama's first touchdown was on 4th and 1. Questionable missed holding call in the end zone. Maybe got a better angle if that didn't happen. Second touchdown was what should have been a 4th down, but Mason Reiger got home a little late, got cracked with a roughing the passer call that reset the chains. Bama, as they do, makes you pay right away.
We did go 4th and 1 fullback dive with Jackson
was nice.
Anchor. Yeah,
that was nice.
That was good. It was good.
Good old-fashioned Wisconsin.
We like that.
We turned back the clock a little bit. Next week, you've got him covered, Jesse, along with Adam Mertz. I don't know if we're getting Brad Nortman back or not. Do you?
I think he's going to be back next Saturday.
Okay.
I think so.
So that show's going to start at 9 a.m., same platforms as right now across ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN Wisconsin app. Next week, it's at home, Camp Randall against Maryland. Probably not Billy Edwards Jr. return game if we're kind of thinking towards that bye week and you want to be more cautious with him, don't want to rush him back. But nonetheless, a more gettable opponent coming up.
It is, and when you talk about at the start of the season, where would Wisconsin be after 25% of the season was done? Mm-hmm. This is exactly where we thought they would be record-wise. I don't know if it's exactly how we thought it would play out. It certainly isn't quarterback-wise, but we kind of thought Wisconsin would take care of the first two opponents, and they did a shutout victory and a 42-10 win, and they would struggle at Alabama, and they did. So we are 3 for 3 in thinking what would happen and where it is. So next week, winnable game. Got to have it for the sake of the rest of the season. Next week's as close to a must-win game as I think we'll have in the early stages this year for the Wisconsin football team.
And I'm with you there, and I think, again, we go to that hypothetical. You go in a bar and you ask 10 Badgers fans, what are they going to be through the first 3 weeks? They play the schedule game. The next 9 is really where you get the diversion, where you get the 2-10s. They've won their last football game, where you get the optimistic 7-5s. They're making a bowl game and getting a bonus game on top of that. Folks, make sure you experience a banking relationship where your goals are their priority. Talking about Starion Bank. As a community bank with a commitment to Dade County, Starion Bank redefines local banking in the Madison area. Visit one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or online at starionbank.com. Jesse, final thoughts from this one.
Wisconsin's 2-1. We knew they weren't going to win at Alabama. Most people did.
Yeah.
And it didn't play out well. I don't think we can say that we feel great about what they put on film today. But there were a couple of good things that we can look at, and hopefully they are able to make the right corrections and get a healthy quarterback and a healthy offensive line for the rest of this year. I can't wait to talk to Barry Alvarez, Tarek Saleh, Derek Engler right across the street at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse here from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton on Monday night and see what those guys have to say about the performance today.
I'll be locked into the Barry Alvarez show, and all of you should be too. Thank you so much to Owen Dimful back at the Everlight Solar Studios at ESPN Madison, Hunter Vaughn as well. His extra animated Sports Center updates and score updates were much appreciated.
A little snarky.
a little
snarky
sass
from
to him
Hunter
today.
Yeah, he's a little bitter.
Nazir Spencer on the board at the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Studios in Milwaukee. Thank you very much to you, my friend. For Jesse Nelson, I am Corey Sparks here live from Monk's Bar and Grill in Middleton, Wisconsin. Have a great week. Maryland, let's turn the page. Let's turn the page to next week. Have a great week. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, the post-game show across ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
When it comes to your career, most companies want you to be interested in them. At Northwestern